Okay, this is week number 2 that we're starting of Compass. What is the compass? How does it work? What is it designed to do? And a few of you that were on the first week program, I'm going to get some feedback from you. Number one, how did it work when you printed it out, when you filled it out? What happened in that segment? And what I want to figure out is what questions did you bump into while you were starting to fill out a compass? Actually, I updated it and kind of tweaked it just a little bit. So if you've got the newest version, I actually put the link here. It's actually in, get it here for you. The newest version of the compass that I just produced for you guys. I'll give you the actual everything right here. It's in your PDF, but I'm going to drop it in the actual.
I just want to say, sorry, Steve, the new PDF that you put, I mean, the new Google link, it's got the same link on the compass as it's got in the manual. So I think there was a mistake there.
Probably was. The compass.
Okay, so I don't think the compass is on the new one, the new link.
All right, let's check this real quick right now. Let's see what happens, okay? Hang on a second. Yeah, okay, you're right. All right, that happens when I get to doing too many things too fast. Hang with me just a second. We'll clear this up. Let's see. Let's see. Thank you for that check, Nisa. So here, let me go over here. Let's grab the link, copy, and I want to go over here to okay, so that's saved. Let me just save this for you, and we'll get it downloaded for you in just half a second. While we're doing that, I'm going to give it to you in right here in the program. There, check that out. Check that, everyone, and see if that isn't the new compass with a tweak on it. What does that look like?
The manual to me.
That's still the manual? The last link I just gave you?
What I clicked on was, let me go back.
No, it's fine now, Steve.
Okay. The very last link that I just put in the chat, try that one and see if that in fact isn't the correct one there.
It is correct.
It is correct. Good job. Okay.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes, I got it.
Okay. All right. Let me update that in the, let's see, I need to go to Rubicon Images and okay. All right. That link should be updated now. So sorry about that. There's a lot of links in the program, but I appreciate you always doing the check for that. So now the link that we're going to talk about today, I'm actually going to bring up an actual PDF, and we're going to look at this. And the value of having a compass is a guidance tool. And how many of you, prior to using this tool, how many of you ever had any type of guidance tool for your life? I call it life navigation. How many of you have ever used anything to create a goal for your life, write down what your objectives are, to come up with your life mission, a purpose? How many of you have done that before? Okay, Nisa's done it before. David's a little times. Okay, Christy, have you ever done anything like this before? No, not really. Okay, Jim, how about you? No, okay. So here's the interesting thing I'll share with you. Okay, is the average person spends more time planning their what? More time planning their vacation than they do planning their life. Now, how many of you would think about deciding to leave on vacation for a 2-week vacation, okay? And we'll use Christy here since you're getting ready to leave and go to Hawaii, okay? Now, let me take you off mute for just a second, and if you'll just work with me, I want to ask you a couple questions, okay? Now, how much planning have you put into going to Hawaii? And you're going to be in Hawaii for what, a week?
2.5 weeks.
2.5 weeks, okay. So you're spending a pretty good amount of time. Number two, a pretty good amount of money, right? Going to Hawaii for 2.5 weeks, right? How much planning time have you done for what you're planning on doing, the events, setting up agendas, calling ahead to schedule reservations. How much time have you spent doing that, Christy? Just give me an idea.
So I'm just going to tell you guys that we started planning this a year ago, because
Wow.
we go back every year.
Sure,
So
sure.
we already knew where we wanted to stay.
Mhm.
And you know how you kind of go with your experience from the last time, like
Sure.
this time we're like, okay, we got to eat at this place. And
Right,
so,
exactly.
yeah, so a lot of time. It's
A lot
been
of
a year.
time.
Mhm.
And you've started a year ago, and you're using past experiences, and you're saying, okay, we had a really great time, but we want an even better time this time. So we don't want to forget this restaurant. So what do we have to do first? Well, we can't just decide to walk into this place and go, hi, we're here on vacation. They're like, yeah, so is everybody else here. And do you have a reservation? And you're like, no, but I'm here on vacation and I want priority treatment. And they're like, no, sorry, glad to have you on the island, but we have no seating for you. Why does that happen? Because you didn't plan ahead. And I always use the big event, because I'm going to go back. Oh my God. So my daughter's 29 years old. My son's 26 now. So they were, so that was, let's call it 24 years ago. Okay. She was about 5. We went to a 4-day in the park and 3 days on a Disney cruise ship. Okay. Do you know how much time we spent? Not me, because I was busy running 3 companies, but their mother at the time. Okay. Their mother, which was my wife at the time, let's say it that way. She's still their mother. Do you know how much time she spent setting up early morning character breakfast, getting access to different parts of the park before the parks open, so you could get in to have breakfast with the different characters, right? To coordinate and put everything together, not just the flight plans, but which one of the resorts are you going to be in? Do you have your passes all set up? Are you registered? All these kind of things. Now, what would have happened had we decided to show up and try to get into the early morning character breakfast, so they could go have breakfast with Minnie and Mickey Mouse and all that kind of stuff? What would happen is the looks that the other parents were looking at us when we walked up and we got escorted through the line up to the front, and the gate opened for us with a few other families that did what? That did their preparation, planning, and practicing when? At the moment we showed up? No, months and months and months ahead. Okay. So here's the example. And thank you, Christy, for playing along with me here. You spent a year of building out your plan and your design to create bearings so that your 2.5 weeks of vacation is going to navigate even better than last year, so that your experience is even more fantastic, right? And that is what? Very important to you, or just kind of important to you? It's very important to you. Yeah, it's very important to you. 2.5 weeks, okay? They're with your family. Fantastic experience. It's something you're going to create. You already know ahead of time. You're going to create what? Memories, incredible memories. And the memories you already have are fantastic. We want them to be more. Now, the reason why I'm using this example and spending a little time on it is where I began. The average person spends more time planning their vacation than they plan their life. Here's the thing. Everybody gets upset because what happens with life? Life becomes a disaster. It is a hurricane. It's a wreck. Okay. And then they go, well, my life should be better. Well, should it be? How much planning did you do? How much preparation did you take time for? How much research did you do? How much practicing did you do to figure out what did I do before? And how do I want to increase that experience so that it's better, whatever that is? Does everybody understand? So I'm using an example here, but it's critical. Okay. Now, we all have this device. Okay. Everybody have the page right here. Okay. Everybody have one. Okay.
Yep.
If you've already folded it up and it looks like this, okay, that's okay. But if you have this, let's just do real simple. Okay. You see the line that goes right here through the top of it? That's designed for you to do this, right? Okay. So you fold it where the inside blank is on the inside, right? Has everybody done this already? Okay. And then when you end up with this part, I'm going to fold it up here for you real quick. Okay. So this is the front side, and this is going to be the inside, right? And what do you see right here on the inside? You see 2 dotted lines right here. These are panels. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the right panel, and the right panel folds over right here to the dotted line to the left panel, okay? Now, this is real engineering stuff, guys. I want you to understand this is really top level engineering, okay? And then what we're going to do, we're going to take the other one and we're going to fold the outside, okay? You follow me? We're at this level. We're going to fold this outside version out over the inside. Okay. Really simple, right? And that's what we're led on, right? This is the front panel. Okay. And your front panel actually looks like this. Okay. Does this look right? That's what your front panel looks like right here. Is that correct? Everybody see this?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So last week we started on this particular section right here. Okay. We started on the gravestone. Someone tell me what you got from last week when we talked about the gravestone experience. What is that and how did you use it?
Well, it's just basically the gravestone is what do you want to leave behind? What do you want to be remembered for, especially by your loved ones?
Right. And so how did you use this, Nisa?
So for me, my thing is I always want to leave people better than I found them.
Right.
And that was short enough for the 10 words. But in I have to say, even though I wrote that, in my heart, I feel like I want to write more.
Sure. So
You know,
that's a good concept, Nisa, that you're giving us here. So you want to focus on your family, and I agree with that. The family, which again, you're giving your personal preference. Okay. It's not right or wrong. It's just your opportunity to be different than everyone else. Everybody else, maybe their family isn't the most important thing to them. Maybe it could be their business. Maybe it could be a charitable, philanthropic thing that they do for focusing on making a difference in the world. Whatever it is, it's their responsibility. It's their meaning. And the whole idea that Dr. Viktor Frankl gave us in Man's Search for Meaning is that each person's meaning is their responsibility and their own business. And how many times do we try to get into other people's lives and tell them that their life meaning should be the same as ours? Has anybody ever done that?
yes.
Okay. And is that a good thing to do? And does it cause a lot of nice feelings between you and that other human being when we do that?
No.
No, it does not. Okay. So here's the cool thing. The cool thing is the right of life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. The thing that we call freedom in this world is the right to be free and for each person to be able to set their own priorities. Here's the cool thing. We got enough worry or enough challenge to focus on our own priorities and our own version of meaning. And like you just said, Nisa is crafting our meaning and our life mission so that it continually improves, right? So let's look at this real quick, okay? This is the idea right here, is the gravestone effect. The very first part right here that we're talking about is the ability for you to actually start focusing on, this is just an idea, never stop striving to be better, okay? When you focus on the 10 words, and the reason why, Nisa, 10 words, is because it forces you to continue to distill and get right to the really point, okay? And here's a key thing. I'm gonna stop this for just a second and give you a quick clue here. Okay, who has heard of the 7Y program? Who's heard of that? Anybody heard of okay, you've heard of it, Linda, okay? Nisa, you've heard it. Okay, the 7Y program comes from the Toyota method, okay? So it's been used in the corporate environment. I use it in the everywhere environment. And here's the thing. If you tell me that the most important thing in your life, your big why, the gravestone that you want to create, is important to you, then I'll ask you from that, why is it important? And when you ask someone why their first answer is important, what do you get from that?
You get a level that's just on top. It's a surface level.
Correct. And you get a deeper understanding. So if Nisa, if you said the most important thing that is important to you is family, okay? And I said, Nisa, why is family important to you? Follow me, okay? Because I want you to be able to use this for yourself and use this for other members and people that you care about, members of your family. Nisa, why is family important to you?
Because for me, it's it's actually experiences with my family, creating amazing experiences, improving their lives,
Okay.
so that they can.
Okay, hold on just a second there. Notice what Nisa just did when I asked her the question. She distilled what her first answer was. First, it was just a generality, it's family. Everybody's like, oh, that's really great because family is important to me. But then I asked her why it's important, and look what happened to her mind. She distilled it down already, okay? It's not really just family, it's the experiences. Isn't that what you said, Nisa? It's the
Yes.
experiences I have with my family. Do you see how it's a level deeper, right? So you ask why and you get more depth. And then I'm going to say, Nisa, why is experiences with your family so important to you? Nisa, what's your answer?
Well, creating memories that will last for a lifetime, or I mean more than a lifetime.
Cool. So stop. That's perfect. Okay. Notice she's at a different level now. So it's not just family. It's not just experiences with family. It's family to have experiences that create memories that last for how long? Forever.
Forever.
Forever. Eternal memories. Okay. That continue to last. What is this called in one word? Legacy. So what's important to Nisa? Is it just family, or is it family experiences that are so memorable that they create legacy? Do you understand what we just did here? Okay. This is not magic. This is following a process. This works for you. It will work for you working with your kids. It will work for you working with your spouse. It'll work for you working with business people. Okay. It's never the first answer when you say, hey, why is it important for you to buy my product or service? And they're going to say, oh, well, it's going to help me save some money. No, that's not the correct answer. That's the surface answer. Why is saving money so important to you? Well, if I save money, then my business can be more successful. Why is it important for your business to be successful? Level 3 is a deeper answer, okay, than level 1 and 2. So if you continue to ask this why question to yourself, to those that you care about, what you're going to do is create a deeper level of meaningfulness, because meaning is down about 5 or 6 or 7 levels. Do you follow me? So Nisa, play with me again, okay?
Okay.
Why is family important? It's experiences. It's creating those legacy level memories. So I'm going to ask you again, why is creating those legacy level of memories so important to you, Nisa?
Well, it's memories as well as helping them improve their lives so that even when I'm not here, they can thrive.
Okay. Okay. Notice how she just did a deeper level. Is that number 4? We're at level 4 now. Is level 4 more meaningful when she just expressed it than just saying family is important to me at 1? Does everybody see this? Does everybody understand what we're doing here? Okay. This is critical. And this is critical for you to understand, because when you write your gravestone experience, you have to do this to yourself. So when we get down to level 4, it's so that, help me, Nisa, it's so that the experiences are so memorable that you're able to make a lasting impression that continues even when you're not physically here. Is that right, Nisa?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And have lessons that will help their life become better.
Okay, that help them perpetuate and become better.
Yes,
okay,
improve.
that's level 4. Everybody writing this down and follow me where I'm going. Now, what am I going to do now? What am I going to do next? David, what am I going to do?
Level 5.
I'm going to ask her why again. Okay, and here's sometime if the word why doesn't help the person trigger the next level of depth, you can use another word that says because. Okay, so I could say at this level, Nisa, you want to help those individuals that are in your family be able to create experiences and to have meaningfulness. Because why?
Because it will improve their lives. It'll bring joy into their lives.
Oh, there you go. Okay, did you hear the word she just said? Okay. So now we're at level 5. What's important to Nisa at level 5? Is it family? Is it just family with experiences? Is it family with experiences creating legacy, helping them perpetuate something good in the future by giving them insights? Or what? What's 5? What did she just say? Give it to me in one word.
Joy.
Joy. She wants her family to experience joy. Now, is that more powerful than just saying family is important to Nisa? It's incredibly more powerful, because it's not just family. She lives her life to perpetuate joy in those family members that she is part of. Okay, now, number 6, Nisa, why is it so important to you to create joy in the life of your family members?
Because I don't want them to have a mediocre, struggling, suffering. I don't want them to suffer.
Okay, perfect. Done. Okay, you don't have to go in. It doesn't have to be a huge answer. It's the answer that she just came right off the front of her mind. She wants them to have joy because why? She doesn't want them to struggle. Is that right, Nisa?
Yes.
Okay. Now, once Nisa at level 6 writes down what is her legend in 10 words or less, it's not just family. It's not just family experiences. It's not just family experiences that continue and perpetuate for eternity, okay? It's not just family that have experiences that perpetuates on in eternity and that she gives them insights to help them experience joy, but it's to ultimately keep them from not experiencing what?
Suffering.
Struggle. She doesn't want them to suffer, okay? Now, number 7, Nisa, why is it so important that your family members have joy and not suffering?
Because I don't want them to go through any pain.
Okay. Now, what have we just figured out here in a matter of what, 3 or 4 minutes? What is Nisa's on her question of be what you wish to seem, or what her personal legend? What is her personal legend that she's filling out 10 words or less that she wants her gravestone? She wants to live. Why? For what reason? What is the big why in Nisa's life? Someone?
End suffering.
Yes, to end the suffering of her family members so that they can have joy. So for right now, for this current stage of Nisa learning to evolve and create her compass, you start off with the big why. Why is it that we want to do life? Why is it that we want to get up in the morning? Why is it that we want to deal with the difficulties and the setbacks and the betrayals and all the ugly things and disappointing things and disrupting things of our lives? If you don't have a big why, eventually life, like the summit we talked about on Mount Everest, if you keep focusing on the big summit, okay, and you don't figure out how to go through the difficulties right now, putting that boot one in front of the other, okay, what is going to create the fuel, the drive, the passion that your life is missing right now, okay? It's you've got to find that thing that is so absolutely powerful that's inside of you, and it's by asking why over and over and over and over and over again. You can do this on anything. And when you do that, you end up getting to the baseline, the kernel, the root, the core of what it is that really fires up your jets, okay? So Nisa, my suggestion for this week, and the reason why we create this in paper is because every week we get to do what? We get to rewrite it, okay? And the cathartic process of rewriting it connects what you're thinking about. It makes you think here, and you have to express it with a pencil or pen. I use a pencil because I like to be able to erase and recraft it, okay? And it is the quality of your expression important to how you think about what's going on inside of you. Yes. Is the words that you use, do they help accentuate the feelings? Yes. Okay. So will you learn how to write what you are writing right now next week better than this week? Yes, if you will continue to practice this regimen, you will craft better and more powerful ultimate whys for why you're doing life. Is that going to help you become a better person that is creating a life that is focused like Christy going on vacation here, right? This is the planning and the practicing, the preparation. Why not put this amount of training and thinking and planning into where do you want your life to be so that you have a similar type of great outcome that you would have if you're going to go on vacation for 2.5 weeks to Hawaii? Why would we not do this? And guess what? 95% of the people don't. So the fact that you're here right now means that you're ahead of 95% of the people that are just kind of bumping down the river of life going willy-nilly, whatever happens. And what do they always do? They complain and they blame. They complain about what everybody else is doing out there, and then they blame all those other people for how they're feeling where? In here. And when we come here in this type of masterclass, what we're learning is that what people do in the events that happen on the outside of us are exactly that. They're outside of us. They are outside of our control. So if we try to navigate and control those things, those other people, and telling other people how to live and how to think and how to act, how much personal contentment are we going to have? Zero.
Yeah.
Other people are not our responsibility. The exception to that, our children, okay? Our children is something that we want to give them the framework. Like mine, I did not tell them what to think as I was raising Blair and Mason, okay? What I gave them is the framework of how to think about their thinking.
Mhm.
If I just tell them to think like their dad, then what have I done to them? I've given them a disability, a learning disability. It's like the professor. If you just think like the professor taught you in college, then you have limited yourself to the ceiling of that professor's thinking. I don't want my children limited to their father's level of thinking, called a paradigm. So I've taught my children, how do they think about their thinking? How do they think about their thinking allows them to do what? To eclipse, to come up with better solutions than what their dad could come up with. Because I'm encouraging them to ask questions. What's the most powerful question we just demonstrated with Nisa 7 times over and over again?
Why?
Why?
All right.
3-letter word, why? And if the 3-letter word doesn't fit for the scenario, what's the other word you can use instead?
Because.
Because, okay? So if you ask why or because, guess what you're going to get down to? You're going to get down to the root, okay? So here's what we have to do, because we're out of time here. Does everybody understand how this works?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
So can you practice this when you're creating? I'm giving you the link that's I'm going to drop in the chat right now. I'm going to give you the link for the next segment that we're getting ready to drop off this one and go to the P5 Life Navigation, which is the 3rd segment of our 90-minute masterclass for today. We're going to go into more theory and focus on why this works, but this particular point is very critical. So I'm still on panel 1. Okay, we're still on panel 1. We're still on just creating your gravestone. And the thing underneath it says, therefore, what matters most to me. So if Nisa is filling this out and she's saying what matters most to her is that her gravestone is that she wants her family members to feel joy in a perpetual fashion, then what matters most to her is that they don't experience pain. No pain and no suffering. Is that going to be possible? No, because pain and suffering are part of being human. But if she is able to give them her insights and her guidance and her leadership and share that with them, then what is she going to do? She's going to severely reduce the amount of pain and suffering that those family members would have had to experience had Nisa decided not to be this leader in her family, this servant that helping those individuals change their mindset. Does everybody understand that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we're going to end this session. I just dropped the link in here for the next Zoom. I'll see you in 60 seconds, okay?